Brilliant. And we are live, guys. So, normally I would say happy Wednesday or something like that, but it's Thursday today and I haven't been well. And as you know, earlier from my post earlier in the week, I haven't been well, and I was meant to do this yesterday, but sometimes you've just got to listen to your body. So thank you so much for bearing with me while I've not been well this week. I have two busy weddings on, two pretty decent sized weddings on this week as well. And as I work on my own, sometimes you just got to look after yourself, haven't you? So if you're here, say hi. I am going live both on YouTube and Facebook group at the same time. So pop me a comment. Let me know that you can hear me and see me, and just tell me how your week has gone as well. But thank you to all those who've wished me well, and while I've not been well, and sent me kind wishes and things like that. I've really appreciated them. My hubby, bless him, has been looking after me too. He's made sure I'm fed and watered and things like that. So yeah, let me know if you are here. I know it's not our usual time to go live, but I wanted to, still do something for you guys this week. So yeah, want to chat a little bit about the issue of people not seeing your posts. So we'll chat about that in a little bit. But I wanted to give you some news about a book I've written recently. So despite being ill, I have also written a book this week, as you do. The joys of being a neurodivergent ADHD person. So yeah, I've written a book. People were often asking me about things like, how do you run a consultation? What do you ask people during consultations? How do you cost things out? And all the sort of these questions about the business side of wedding floristry. So I decided to make a book about it. So that will be available soon. I can't wait to tell you about it. But basically, it's all full of forms and templates and like samples of questions and things like that. So that you can use this during your own consultations and in your own business when you're quoting and doing proposals and quotes and things like that. So you're really looking forward to that book coming out. I will let you know. Keep an eye out for messages about that on the Facebook group or on my social media. No doubt I will splash it all over social media. So that's the news this week. Written a book, and also thank you for bearing with me for not being well. So welcome to this week's live. I really wanted to talk to you this week about the issue of people not seeing your posts. I'm often seeing this with people. They've told me that they feel like their followers just aren't seeing what they're posting, and that people put a lot of effort into this, creating content and posting things. And then nobody sees them, nobody likes it or shares it or comments or anything like that. And it's you post and it's just crickets. And when people have looked further into it, the people are telling me that, their followers have said they haven't seen their posts pop up in a while. And they end up either, blaming or hating the algorithm, or, maybe even posting something desperate sounding to get you seen more. But in all honesty, the most probable reason for this is that, you're just not creating enough engaging content or appealing to your customers' pain points and emotions. That's it's the algorithm doesn't really change. It's more about kind of what you post and how people are interacting with it and things. So what do we mean by pain points and emotions? And do let me know if in the comments or on an email, or drop me a DM on Instagram or whatever your preferred platform is, and let me know if any of this is resonating with you. Have you ever been in that position? But what do we mean by pain points and emotions? What we mean is, for anyone who doesn't know, who's listening, pain points and emotions. Pain points are, perhaps things that your couples, inquiring couples, prospective couples, who are, scoping out on social media. What are they going through? What are they feeling right now? Are they particularly worried about a certain thing? Are they experiencing a certain issue? The pandemic was a great example of this. That was probably quite an obvious, easy example to, tap into, and posts that really tapped into that what couples were going through in terms of postponing and wondering if the wedding was ever going to happen and wanting to get on with starting a family, but they didn't want, they wanted to do the wedding first and then start the family. And there was all sorts of issues and thoughts and worries and experiences that people were going through. So that's what we mean by, pain points and emotions. And, you absolutely have to appeal to those. It's, I've said before, social media is social. It's not just about you. So, if all you're doing is kind of posting pretty things, then you're only doing half the job, really. If you're only posting things that start with, "Oh, we just love this photo shoot of blah blah blah," or "Congratulations to today's couple who married at blah da da," then what is there in that sort of post to interact with? Or what is in that post that's speaking to them, and what they're going through, and how they're feeling? um it's not to say that you should never have posts like that, but it's just there are other options. When you're creating your captions for these posts, I mean, you absolutely need pretty pictures and interesting pictures and videos, of course. But, if all you're doing is kind of showing off what you've done, then there's nothing in there. What are people meant to say to that? If you're starting a post with, "Oh, we just love this latest such and such by such and such a supplier," or or maybe you did a photo shoot. "Oh, we're loving these images. Thanks so and so for sending them over." Then, I mean, that's like, what is there for people to grab onto? What's going to capture their attention? There are other options. So get creative. Get creative with your captions. Tell a story. Phrase your initial line as a question. Capture their attention with videos, reels, lives. Make it about them. Let them behind the scenes. Um, Show them who you are and what you're all about, what your business is all about, what your brand personality is. Who's the person behind the business? What goes on behind the scenes with you? Because what we want for them really is to, the main aim with all of this is for people to stick around and hang around on your social media, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, because essentially that's what those the platforms want us to do. That's they're a business, and they want people to stay on their platforms for as long as possible. That's their mo. That's what they do, and everything, all these algorithms, all these other words that you hear, they're all designed to promote things that keep people on their platform. At the end of the day, it's as simple as that, really. So if you are creating content that makes people want to stick around and read more or comment or interact, if you're creating content that helps them engage and interact, and content that kind of puts you on their radar, essentially, and lets you know that you are right for them, that you both will be a good fit, then Facebook and Instagram will notify more people of your posts. It's that simple, really. Essentially, um, create more interesting content that's about the people who are viewing it, not about you, not about what you like necessarily. Of course, tell a story about you and the person behind the business, but if all you're doing is singing about yourself or selling your product, then there's nothing in there for people to latch onto, either emotionally or physically. They're not kind of, what doesn't make them want to press that heart button or comment saying, "Oh my goodness, yes." People need to know that you are for them. They scope a lot of people out on social media. I've had couples who followed me for years, before they've even been proposed to. Um, they've scoped me out for years, and they've told me during consultations as much. And they've been following all sorts of suppliers over the years because they know that when they do get married, they want this sort of design or this sort of person, or they like such and such a photographer's style, or and by that point they've gotten to know me almost from social media. So the way to do that, the way to get Facebook and Instagram to get people to see your posts is quite simply to create content that people will engage with, rather than thinking about you and what you like and what you want and what you think sounds good. Switch that around a little bit and just think, what does my ideal client want? Um, what are they going through? What are they experiencing? You may see these things on, um, like, for example, bridal Facebook groups or wedding based Facebook groups. And, a lot of couples will put posts on there asking for help with a certain issue, for example. So, that's an ideal thing. Scope out these groups and see what are people going through, and is there a certain thing that keeps cropping up, a certain thing that they're experiencing, or that sort of thing. And make your posts about that. Even better if you've done some work on your ideal client, and you are basically sort of in tune with what they want, what they need, what makes them tick, essentially. Uh, then even better, because you can then really tailor your posts around that and really think, what do they want to hear? And when you're posting something that makes people want to um, engage with it, interact with it, comment on it, like it, share it, then similar to this live, actually, the more, if you're watching on the Facebook group, because we are recording this live, people will Facebook will tell people that I have gone live. It does when more people start interacting and commenting and liking. If nobody does, then it won't tell anyone, basically, which seems a bit unfair. But it's not just going to automatically tell people that I've gone live, for example, just as your posts won't tell people. Facebook doesn't just automatically tell absolutely everyone. It will only present people with the content that it thinks they will be most interested in, because again, they want to keep people on their platform. So they're not going to present them with content that they will think is boring and make them click away, etc. So I hope that's helped today. Do let me know if any of that resonates. It's simpler than it sounds, really. I think people get themselves quite worked up about they don't know what to post, and I do want to talk about that in next week's episode as well, because I'm going to give you a few ideas next week as to what kind of posts you can create, and what you can say during your posts. So yes, well, thank you so much for joining me. If anybody has any questions or anything, do pop them in the comments. Let me know. If you're part of the Facebook group, you can pop them in the DM, or you can pop them in the comments, rather. Let's see if there's anybody from YouTube. Where's my YouTube fam at? I can see a couple of people watching on YouTube, actually. This is great, this system. I'm going live to both YouTube and Facebook group at the same time. So Facebook user says, "Hi, Vicky," and a little emoji. I can't see who you are, but thank you, Facebook user. So yeah, keep an eye out anyway for when the book comes out. I can't wait. I'm launching 2 things, actually. So I'm going to be launching the book that I mentioned, which is basically full of things about the business side of wedding floristry. So, templates, forms, sample questions to ask during consultations, things like that. But I'm also going to be launching a digital version where you will have the actual spreadsheet that I use for my bookings and creating floral recipes. And you have PDF downloads, and there's been a couple of videos, and the content planning spreadsheet, the exact content planning spreadsheet that I use. So there's going to be a couple of things coming out soon. So I am really looking forward to telling you about those. Do keep an eye out. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. If you don't, you will see some announcements there. Don't you worry, I will splash that across every platform because I'm a content creator. So yeah, okay. Well, we'll leave that at that for today. And once again, thank you so much for all your well wishes. I am almost out of the other side of this cold that I'm going through. I've managed to slap some lipstick on today and chat to you. Yes, I hear you're still a bit sick. Get well soon. Thank you so much. Yes, I hope that doesn't come across too badly on the on the recording. But yeah, thank you so much. It means a lot. Just have to keep my fingers crossed that I get through these weddings all right. It's going to be a long day tomorrow, and I can't wait to collapse in a heap on Saturday afternoon and just relax with probably a very large bottle of wine. So cool. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for listening and watching, and we'll speak to you next week. All right, take care. Flower on.